How are we doing? We're gonna just go ahead and do our volume check because I seem to not know what's going on anymore. You know, really, I do a little volume check at the start of most of my streams because every so often I do have problems. But for the most part, it's it's one of those things where I only have the problem if my kids have been messing around on my computer, which of course is super common. Um, all set, all set. Okay. I think I'm all set. Ah, yes. The turtle shell grind. And I think I did a move where I put on my boost to get a bunch of money, right? Or to get more money. Just so this is less, like, wasteful. And part of what that means is I can buy elixirs, although I could go and buy an extra flame ring. I don't know. So this is 4-job Fiesta, which is... I'm going to reset here. Not reset, but reinitialize our shared understanding of what's happening here. 4-job Fiesta is a charity event that has been happening for many years now. Many years. And I don't know how many years. but I think it can reasonably be described as many. And it's playing Final Fantasy V, but you get 4 jobs prescribed to you. And there's a bunch of variations of it, but basically the idea is... it limits the gameplay a lot, because where you'd normally be able to mix and match abilities, features, stats, equipment loadouts from over 20, what they call jobs, classes, you instead get limited to the 4. And so you have to find new ways to solve problems using quite a limited feature set. Nature of the game means you gain access to these jobs gradually throughout the game. And but mechanically in the game you do. And in the first 4-job Fiesta, that's just how it went, is you would get 1 job, I think, from the Wind Crystal quite early in the game. One a couple dungeons later at the Water Crystal, one a dungeon or 2 later at the Fire Crystal. The game does kind of a thing where it staggers some of the Fire Crystal jobs, some are a little later. And then the Earth is towards the end of kind of the first, roughly third or quarter of the game. And that's kind of where I am. I'm playing a variant of this where I don't... where my jobs were more biased towards later crystals. So only very recently in this playthrough did I actually get access to my last couple of jobs. I'm also at a point in the game where, for story reasons, one of the 4 playable characters is gone. And consequently, I only have 3. And the 4th party member is a berserker. There's kind of a ticker up there showing some of the details of my jobs. Berserker is considered one of the hardest to use. It's not like it's weak. I mean, it's supposed to be good at what it does, and in a way it is. But in general, people don't want berserkers because they are uncontrollable characters. Quite literally. They do not accept battle commands and just attack. And they're, like, fairly strong, but not so strong that it really feels worthwhile. So people don't like having berserkers, and I have a berserker. But right now, so what's happening is I've gotten access to my 4th job of chemist very recently. Chemists have a powerful ability called Mix. not powerful in the sense that you use it all the time, because it's a bit impractical to use in every single battle, but it solves a lot of like problems that you might encounter with bosses. Some of the bosses feel a little bit like puzzle bosses, where there's like viable ways to defeat them and some ways that are not viable. And Chemist gives you a really big tool set. But as part of that, you need certain items for them to be able to combine with their mix ability. Where one example is turtle shells, which I'm grinding out right now from these turtles, because they're the easiest enemy in the game that drops turtle shells, and when I move past this point in the story, I'm going to lose access to that. So I'm doing a turtle shell grind, kind of hoping to get about 50. And I actually did print myself a little desk reference of mixes so I don't have to keep flipping open browser windows and whatnot. At least that's the hope. I probably still will. So some stuff you can do with turtle shells. I can, right now it's very easy to inflict Protect and Shell, which give you, you know, a gigantic defensive buff in any arbitrary battle by combining 2 turtle shells together. There's a thing called Succubus Kiss. That is a Maiden's Kiss and a turtle shell together. That's like a crazy powerful attack. And now, I've heard that the Pixel Remaster version of this game does something funny with like the undead HP draining formula. So, I don't know if that's going to behave a bit unexpected from my perspective. Unexpectedly. So these enemies I'm fighting are really easy. My 2 bottom characters are the Chemist and the Bard, on the bottom in battle. And they are physically terrible. They are not good attackers, so that is slowing things down a little bit. But it's a good chance for me to get money anyway. Money that I need to buy more mixing ingredients or rings or whatever that help me make some later bosses a little easier. Turtle shell. What else does a turtle shell do? Turtle shell and eye drops can give you the haste status, which is a powerful status and one that I otherwise would not have access to with this team. And turtle shell and antidote. It is the antidote to having a shell. And by that I mean, apparently, it halves defense and magic defense. So if I were to be encountering a problem with a highly defensive enemy, it could offer a solution. This might be an opportunity here. Oh no, it's an opportunity to die. Okay. We don't actually want opportunities to die. That's an issue. This is perfect. Here's a fun thing. There's a monster in a box in this village. With like a weak enemy called a goblin. The people who know anything about this game, the way I'm talking is going to sound so stupid. Anyway, it's a good place to run away a whole bunch because there's a weapon later called the chicken knife that's very powerful when you run away. Like it gets more powerful based on how much running you've done. And I kind of held off on running so far in the game. Because I didn't know what classes I was going to get. And if you end up with a thief, which I wasn't going to get, or a ninja, which was a possibility, they're very... They have a command ability for running away. So does the time mage, actually. What is it? Is it here? No. Upstairs? I didn't get all these things earlier. They might have been handy. Inside this chest is a run for me, yeah. So what you do is you you keep running into this chest and then running away. And you want to do this about 200 times. By doing this roughly 200 times, you end up with a very powerful chicken knife. I've only run away from maybe 5 battles so far, so... I wonder if there's a way to see, like, battle stats in this game. This is fast anyway. I don't know if it's because my characters are a lot higher leveled than you would be when you fight a goblin normally, but... Yeah, this is going fast enough to be satisfying for me. This is not... I mean, if I get all the stupid grindy bullcrap done now, it's going to make future play better, so I don't mind this too much. It'd be nice if I had someone to talk to, though. I have had a few good people showing up lately. There are reasons I might not this time. For one thing, it's the morning, which is a bit unusual for me. The morning where I am. It's the morning of a day when... Actually, a couple of my kids are staying home today, but they've got some stuff to do. But I say that because in kind of the northeast corner of North America, we're widely considered under a heat wave right now. And here I am in like a second-level basement where it's like cold. Like I was considering putting the heater on, but I decided that would be stupid because outside is friggin' hot. So I'm just going to appreciate this the way it is. Like, my house is air-conditioned, and in the upstairs it's comfortable. And then you come down here, and it's like... Oh my goodness, it's cold. It'd be nice if there was, like, a form of temperature debt, you know? Like I could store up my coldness to use later. Let's appreciate the pixel remaster while we do this. Check out those torches in the battle background. This does not resemble the room I'm actually in, does it? Some of the candles are lit and some are not. Who decided that? So far I've been enjoying this pixel remaster. Graphically, I don't find it that different from the Game Boy Advance version, which I like. In the past, I've played the Game Boy Advance version, but also the Matrix ported Steam version, which I don't like the graphics on. It has some strange behaviors. Seems to be unofficially supported. The one nice thing is it had the GBA content. But I don't think I care about the GBA content as far as Forge Up Fiesta goes. I am also officially on vacation today, but technically still going to be working at least a little bit. It's a bit of a strange scenario. In Australia, do people take long vacations in January? I feel like that's probably a thing. I have Australian friends. Why do I not know that? Odd. I haven't been counting. Let's make a little estimate here. When did I start? 10 a.m. I started running away? Maybe a little earlier than that. How many battles can I run from in 1 minute? Each of these cycles is probably about 10 seconds. Okay, a minute just flipped over. This might be less than 10 seconds. I wish the run away that has been mapped to the shoulder buttons historically in Final Fantasy games in the 16 and 32-bit era. Oh, there's our minute. So that's about 10 in a minute. I wish it could be mapped to a single button. I don't know why they insist on this LNR business. Okay, so if we do 10 in a minute, and we need to do 200, 20 minutes of running away? I don't want to do that. Maybe I should just promise to run away later. Okay, for now, I'm not going to stress too much about the chicken knife. I'll do this for a few more minutes. A few more minutes. Hope nobody joins the stream after all, because this is going to suck. In addition to all the Final Fantasy stuff I want to do, and I do keep a backlog on my blog, I blog about the ways I play games in different ways, right? It's all linked below in the Twitch description or whatever, unless you're watching this on YouTube later. I put everything on YouTube. I don't edit, so every so often I know people do watch these. I don't know if that'll be popular for 4-Job Fiesta, but if you're watching this on YouTube, hi. Anyway, it's really just to have documentation of what I'm doing, but in this case, no one cares, right? So some of the more novel challenge runs I've been doing, I could see the reasons why someone might be interested. Here, a little less so. I mean, hundreds of people are doing this, right? Anyway. I was starting to say something about that. Oh, yeah, for my blog. It was funny, because everything I've done so far has been an RPG of some sort. That I've done some kind of novelty playthrough of. And most of them cannot reasonably be described as challenges. Some people call this a challenge, but I don't think it's suitable to call this a challenge. I don't know. There's a little community of variant people, variant gameplay people, and that's more what this is. It's seeing the game in a different way, and I support that as an idea, without just making the game unnecessarily terrible to play. I don't want the game to be terrible to play. Sometimes it is, and I get over that, but yeah. Like, dodging the friggin' Great Magic bug in Valkyrie Profile, that legitimately sucked. I'm kind of happy I found means to do it. In exactly 2 cases, I kind of had to force the Valkyrie into the party anyway. And so that felt kind of yucky. I don't love that. Anyway. What I haven't done is anything that's not an RPG, but it's funny because I do love variant gameplay and challenge gameplay, the speedrun community, of so many things that aren't RPGs. And one that I just love watching, that I've watched a lot lately, is Super Metroid randomizers, and they have randomizer races using a popular map randomization tool. And it's funny because one of my kids was playing a game on a map rando, but we didn't use the newest and most popular map rando, and so it kind of sucks. But the map randomizer for Super Metroid is so cool, and like, I like Super Metroid. I'm fairly good at Super Metroid. I'm not going to be some top tier player in speed, certainly. Like, there are certain techs I've never done. I don't think I've ever successfully mockballed, at least not in a place where it mattered. And I don't think I know how to short charge. So I don't think I could reasonably play with the highest caliber people playing the map randomizer. But at the same time, I kind of really want to try. I kind of really want to, I don't know, see what it's like. It'd be neat to, take some number of cracks at a Super Metroid map randomizer and kind of just based on common high-level gameplay settings for the map randomizer, seeing if I could even finish, or see if I could get my time under like an hour at least once. I don't know. Maybe I should just put in the time, though. Like, I really like Super Metroid, and like I say, I think I'm decently good at it. I've never low percented. I don't know. But I'd like to learn those tricks. I'd like to be able to mock ball. I'd like to be able to short charge. A lot of the other ones aren't that hard, so. Not that mockball is hard. Like, a lot of people mockball. Just because it's more fun to play with the early supers. That's one of the better sequence breaks, right? And speed techniques. Everyone who speedruns Super Metroid, the kind of like... Step one is learn how to mockball. And I've never done that. Anyway, that's something I'm considering, but not too seriously. But it is something I watch a lot and enjoy a lot. I have really enjoyed watching some of the rivalries among the top tier racers. Oats and Goats and Eddie and Emmett, sort of. And they're friends with Andy, and I don't think Andy's really at the same level as them in that game, because that's not really his game, for that matter. But the way they interact is just delightful, so... Nevdi's a pretty great player. A lot of them are great players. There's a lot of them. Watching there's a tournament that I think is still going. It's been very fun. How many more times should I run from this goblin? Give it a couple more minutes? And then what's going to happen is I'm probably going to want to come back to it in the eventual part where you get the chicken knife when I find out that the knife isn't strong enough. So you get to choose between chicken knife and brave sword. I don't even have a character that can use the brave sword. So chicken knife is no question the better option. And it could be used by anyone on my team. But not amazingly effectively by any of them, frankly. It's got a defense ignoring property that can be very handy. Might even be fun for the Dragoon here to jump on people with the chicken knife. They get a damage bonus when they jump with spears, but if defense is the issue, then the chicken knife offers a solution. We'll see. Dragoon gives you very few options for 4-job Fiesta. Like my Bard and Chemist, they open the door for a lot of interesting strats on problematic enemies. The Dragoon is just there to hit things with a spear and wear armor. Even compared to the plain Knight, they're kind of boring. I would say they're more boring and less effective, frankly. Okay, how much longer do I want to run from goblins? If you think this is boring for you... Well, maybe it is more boring for you than it is for me. I at least get to talk to myself. Someone's watching, but knowing that my kids are home, it might just be one of them. Oh no, it's you. You're here if your internet allows you to be. Got some internet problems? Do heat waves cause internet problems? Are you affected by the heat wave right now? You know, we keep, well, you keep talking about the Final Fantasy Magic the Gathering cards. I maintain I'm not that interesting in that. I don't want to put money into it or whatever, and I don't really want to play it. But the ideas do interest me. And I read an article recently, because it popped up on a feed, of... it was about the Suplex card, and about how Suplex is actually named differently in the North American set than it is in the Japanese set. Because in the Japanese set, that move is and has always been called Meteor Strike. But just the meme quality and the nostalgia of the idea of Sabin suplexing the train, like the people producing the set, which was being done for the US audience and the Japanese audience at the same time, they were really like, no, this needs to be called Suplex. So apparently it was like a big debate, a big controversy, and something very new for the Magic the Gathering community, that the card was released with different names by region. So it actually is called Suplex in North America and Meteor Strike in Japan. I don't know about other regions, if they do other regions. And that's kind of a big deal. But the thing that caught me in the article, and I'd seen it before, yeah, the appropriate graphics. The artwork is so badass. There's probably more than one, but the artwork on the one I saw is like I want a print of it. It's so cool. The artwork for the suplex card. It's so awesome. It captures the moment in like a way that the game doesn't, that makes it even funnier. And then the effect of the card is funny too. It's like destroy target artifact or something. It's really good. Okay, I'm gonna be done running from goblins for the moment. I may have to come back to that, but not for days. Okay, I came here for a rest. I also ran away for a while. That's good fun. I can go back to killing turtles, or maybe if I'm bored of killing turtles, I can stop killing turtles. I don't know what I'm doing with my life. How many turtle shells I got? 46. We'll do a few more. Do I want to get to 50,000 gil? Do I want a third flame ring? Like, eventually, for some of my characters, I can get, like, an elemental shield or something, and, well, this is interesting. I'm gonna run. Someone's damage was terrible there for some reason. Wasn't the chemist stronger before? What happened? Chemist. One of my cousins, I think it was around when Final Fantasy Tactics was popular, they kept calling the chemist Chemist. I don't know why. We're not really a French-speaking family. I mean, my chunk of the family is a little bit French-speaking, but not a broadly francophone family tree. Chemist. And I think of that because I think of the word chemise, which means shirt. As if a chemist was some kind of shirt specialist. See how I end up walking in these funny rectangle shapes and I like sort of memorize them and follow them? That harkens back to FF1 for me. That little patch of bright green grass just east of Elfland, I would always walk around in there grinding ogres before going to the Marsh Cave. And I would kind of like bounce off the corners. I'd go like boing, boing, boing. I'd do it on the Veld in FF6 too. And then like Bart's right now is headed for like a flat patch. When you're doing the most boring parts of a game, I find I make my own fun in it. Oh, these fights are slow. There's a lot of classes I could have got that would have been better. But we'll deal with this, it's fine. So yeah, you bounce off the flat one. When you get to an angle, you gotta bounce off at a 90 degree, right? It makes a bit less sense in a game that allows diagonal movement. Oh, flat. Okay. Auto-battling is still probably faster, because it hustles the animations just a little. So, Chemist has mix right now, right? Oh. Sing. I think I gave Bart's equip hearts... It's better than Sing and Hide, I think, for now. And it gives Bart's a good... a small agility boost. So. But check out Mix here. Okay, watch this, watch this. If we do... Turtle Shell... and Maiden's Kiss, and use it on the zoo here. Oh my goodness. Yes, that's actually fairly nice. I wonder, I guess if I put on auto battle, it'll just keep happening. I want to do that again and get a screenshot of it. Oh, Ferris got equip hearts. Okay, whatever. Keep going. I mean, that's nice for if Ferris has to become a Berserker later. I think we found that the Berserkers are considerably more effective with that. Uh-oh, Tortoise guys are considered back row. Oops. That was dumb. This is what happens when I start thinking. I ruin everything. So diagonal. Look at that diagonal movement. Okay, we're gonna do it. Maiden's Kiss, Turtle Shell, on the zoo. Get my little screen cap friend ready. I like that this freezes the time. I did not get a capture of the damage, but whatever. So that's pretty awesome. I'm gonna need more Maiden's Kisses. But I have a fair number of turtle shells. Do you think I'm good? I'm probably good. Like, I'm not gonna use them all the time. I have 54 tortoise shells. Turtle shells, whatever they're called. Can you imagine walking around with that many turtle shells? It would be upsetting. The other thing you can do is combine like potions with ethers to get full HP. They call it X potion, which is interesting because X potions don't actually exist in this game. They're in so many other Final Fantasy games, but not this one. Okay, suppose I... Do I want the flame ring or do I want a whole stack of ethers? I think I want both. Maybe I'll go fight more doggies. Maybe I should fight more turtles. Get the turtle shells. The turtle grind is slow and painful though. Well, I still got $1,000, but that's only like 10 more ethers. I don't need them for MP. Yeah, let's just be whatever. How much money did these fights actually give me? Did they give me at least an ether worth each? Barely. Barely, but yes. There's some funky stuff you can do with ethers. There's the X potion thing as an ability that gives you fire absorption, and an ability that drains MP with a Maiden's Kiss. And that one's interesting because there's certain bosses that you can kind of circumvent by MP draining. Not too much. The main one would be the first Gilgamesh fight, I think. Or second Gilgamesh fight, depending how you count. Yeah, and high potions aren't available until quite late in this game. Oh, I accidentally have Bart's jumping. No wonder these fights are slow. And it means the weaker characters get attacked more. So that's stupid. That one's a little better on money. Yeah, that's the thing about Dragoons. That makes them kind of silly. Is they're tanky, but their main ability is taking themselves out of combat, which almost makes it more interesting. Like in FF4, it's interesting that jump is a trade-off. Because having Kane there soaking up some hits is not a bad thing. But then when he jumps, his damage is going to spike. But it also means that your weaker people, your Rosas and Rydias, are more likely to be the subject of attack. At endgame, that stops mattering. In fact, when you get into the lunar dungeons, it always starts feeling to me like Rosa and Rydia, especially in the back row, take considerably less damage than Kane, and certainly Edge. Edge is supposed to have like such an evasion buff that it doesn't matter, but I find that if I don't give him a protect ring or something like that, Edge is just... He just gets blasted all the time. And they kind of say that in the game. It's like they're like, ninjas are quick, ninjas are powerful, but they can't take much punishment. Someone in the Eblan cave in Final Fantasy IV says a line like that, like one of the random townspeople. Ninjas sure can't take a lot of hits. And then that's interesting because Edge joins the team with 900 hit points, usually lower than Rosa is at that point. He also comes with some options to attack from the back row. Like the boomerang is a fairly viable weapon for Edge at the beginning of the game. And by the nature of his attack, if I recall correctly, you give him a boomerang in one hand and a katana in the other, and he can still attack just fine from the back row. Edge is pretty awful at first. Yes. Agility isn't the amazing stat in that game that it is in a lot of others. Like, it's true that Edge gets the turns, but for one thing, it's probably less apparent than usual that Edge's agility is super high for two main reasons. Number one, all of the early versions of that game had no ATB bar, so you didn't actually see that Edge was faster, and it's not like he was regularly double turning Cecil, whatever he's called. He would double turn him, but it would take a while for it to happen, so it wasn't always visible, especially in short battles. The other reason why you don't feel like Edge is that fast when you play Final Fantasy IV, or like his speed doesn't make that much difference, is there's just a sort of difference in the stat scaling in Final Fantasy IV, such that when Cecil's maxing his agility, when Cecil's maxing his strength, and his strength is in the 90s, Edge's agility is in like the 40s. High agility is at a much lower threshold than high strength or intelligence. The other stats max a lot higher for different characters. So when you're just looking at Edge's stats screen, you're kind of like, why is this guy so amazingly average? you don't see that. And for that matter, his evasion doesn't spike so much. Like, it's not based on his agility score. That gives him multipliers. His evasion goes high when he gets his final armor. The black garb has like a 99% evasion rate attached to it. Before that, you don't notice it that much. So Edge is pretty awful at first. I think that's an easy thing to argue. Ninja magic is never amazingly good, although image solves certain problems. So I did a oh, what was that? Chemist level 3. Oh, was that the drink command? I guess it was. Weird. When I did my Final Fantasy IV with classic jobs, I needed a knight, and that ended up being very close to Cecil's stats, and you just take away his white magic, basically. A black mage, and I chose Palom. A white mage, and I chose Porom, and that pretty well just fit. But there's no thief in Final Fantasy IV, because they assigned the thief abilities to Edge. Oh, what have I done? Alright. Really, I'm just talking about steel. But Edge isn't the same as a thief because he's really outfitted as a physical attacker, but and his agility, I don't know. I felt like when I played with an actual kind of kit bashed, hacked in thief, it felt very different from playing with Edge. They were certainly weaker. When was that? Was that last summer or the summer before? I think it was the end of the summer before. Edgar higher than Edge. Edgar or Edward? Because we were talking about Edward. When you get Edward at end game in like the advanced and newer ports of Final Fantasy IV, and his agility goes really bonkers, and his last couple weapons are really good. And it ends up making Edward pretty viable. Not even just viable, but, like, good. To say nothing of, there's a bug that's very flattering to him. Where you can use Berserk on him and then he hides or something. Yeah, Final Fantasy IV, the advanced version, being able to make any team at endgame, that's pretty neat. Really, really fast. Lots of enemies weak to the heart. Yeah, certainly. The final heart being... and it's true in this game, too. Like, it's type effective against dragons. There's a lot of dragons in endgame in Final Fantasy IV. I forget if other things are weak to it, too, but... Huge amount of dragons. Like all the red dragons, blue dragons, gold dragons, silver dragons, all in the final area. Type effective weapons are really good in that game. Oh, I can sleep for free here. Yeah, Final Fantasy IV Advance, being able to pick your party at the end felt pretty special. It's too bad that basically every version of that game was disastrously buggy. And it's funny to think of all the characters you can't pick as well. You know, obviously not Tella, Hisoya. It's interesting that they were sort of able to give Cid a bit of a niche. Like, those are all good for mix, so I'm hoarding. I'm never gonna use that much stuff, but whatever. Okay, I feel pretty good about that. Maybe we should go to World 3 now. Do I need Dark Matters? Probably not. I don't think I know how to beat the enemies that guard those anyway. Well, you know what? Let's have a look, because it'll be funny, if nothing else. Where is it? One of these islands has these crazy enemies called Prototype that are like a light version of Omega. These guys are good for grinding, but they're not the ones I'm thinking of. Where the heck are the Prototypes? Is it the island right north of Crescent? Oh. Not what I meant. Or is it one of the ones on the south? It's one of these arbitrary islands has a Prototype. Where do you find Prototype? Because maybe I can succubus kiss him. Two islands southwest of Crescent. Yeah, okay. Let's... Is it this one? Or did they mean literally go to islands southwest? I thought it was the only thing you could find. Here it is. Oh, a back attack. That's actually, that probably is good. That probably is good. Okay, that's pretty strong, but it's proportionate. Okay, so if we do Maiden's Kiss Turtle Shell. Romeo's Ballad doesn't work. I don't think I have any way to heal paralysis, which is too bad. Oh my goodness. I might want to give this more than one shot, actually, because Succubus Kiss is so good here. Oh my goodness, we won. Cool. I like the way the Dragoon lands when we win. Cool. It's weird that that's cool, but it is. Should I get a couple more? Maybe I'll get a couple more. Dark Matters are like really powerful items for use with mix that are really, really limited in the game. This is one of very few unlimited sources of them. So, I don't know. Is there a lot of mixes that use them? There's a thing called Dark Ether and a thing called Death Potion. There's a fair number of bosses that if you know they're vulnerable to death, you can kind of one-shot them, which is interesting, but I don't plan on... Oh, that was really long. I don't know. It's not that I find that cheesy. I promise it's not that I find that cheesy. It's that I don't want to play the whole game with a guide open. Every so often I do that, and it's with some reluctance. So... This is, one could argue wasting my turtle shells. But if I'm winning, whatever. It is a lot of turtle shells, isn't it? It's cool, though. There's a lot of things coming together to make this happen. Like the fact that I'm getting those dodges with the Elven Mantle, and that Bartz keeps absorbing the emissions. Oh no. Or ABP for that too. This is cool. But I don't know if I want to do it that long. 63 turtle shells? I mean, that's still good. Or dark matter. We're not close. I think I'm going to get out of here. But that is interesting, right? So, if I needed to completely bomb an enemy's MP, or kill an enemy vulnerable to instant death, I have means to do that now. I guess I'll keep them all front row, because I don't know what I'm doing. Okay, this is the end of Disc 1, World 1. Boom, boom. Oh, he does get into trouble, doesn't he? This part is dumb. You need to use a tent. I could probably just use a tent. But I think I might want... There's these weak enemies that drop tents here, because it's the only way to progress. I remember being quite hung up on that the first time I played this game. I like that the grass is darker. I used to find that kind of creepy. Maybe I still do. Oh. Isn't that funny? You actually get prompted. I guess they wanted to add a little hand-holding. Oh, goodness. Does this revive people in this game? I think it does. Not that it really matters, because we end up triggering some plot here. That was weird. This battle you're allowed to lose, but I think if we just jump, we won't. So I'm just going to sit here, like an idiot. Yay, we beat the abductor. Bartz gains 1 ABP. It's gonna change the way we do business. So silly. You know what else about Edgar in Final Fantasy IV Advance? The upgraded sing ability, Chant. Pretty good. I think it's like whole party Protect and Shell. Although Protect and Shell in non-3D versions of Final Fantasy IV are crappy. They're quite bad. Fortuitous timing. I talk like a tree. Bring the giant clam. When you got a character as fast as Edward applying a defense and magic defense buff to the team as often as he can, it can start to add up. I don't know. I can go for days without sleep. I like the idea of twirling before you cast magic. It makes Exeth actually seem a lot less scary. Although if I were there, it would probably be a lot more scary. Seeing someone twirl and then shoot a giant bolt at me, I'd be like really on guard about any future twirling. I like the way they like found ways to animate things with these funny little 16 by 16 pixels people. Like they really made it look like Glyph was jumping onto the dragon's back while it was moving. The medium is the message. Do I want to keep him as a berserker? That's probably dumb. I think as long as I act like he is the one who is that class at the time, it's fine, and I could change him. What's the... He's a bard, but locking down the enemy doesn't do anything on his own. I think he's probably best off as a very stupid dragoon. Very stupid. Exceptionally stupid. I'll keep him in the back row and he'll just jump. Is this the right way? This is the right way, isn't it? Ooh. Is this healing spring? Yeah, I kind of remember that. Do-do-do-do-do. Okay. Our path is clear. This is working. Rah! He raz with no effect. It's some very poor ratting. You know what else is cool in terms of how they managed back into 16-bit days? Was that that cloak animation. Like, it actually looks really good. I wonder how planned out that was when they started the sprite art. Like, that must have been a process. Okay. Actual team for the first time. What do we want Galuf to, like, gain? Probably Bard abilities. They're the most interesting to transfer. So we'll switch Ferris to Berserker with Equip Hearts, which we know is pretty good. I'll keep Bart's front row as a Dragoon for now, because attacking is just faster. That was weird what I did there. Yeah, that makes sense to me. Make the Dragoon a little more agile, sure. I don't know about accessories here. Does it matter? This seems about right. Maybe throw Chemist Lena in the back row because she's not actually effective in combat anyway. And then we're probably pretty good. Maybe I should double check my abilities. We got our Equip Harps on both of these guys, which is strange. Keep Mix. I guess this is fine. We don't have a whole lot of synergy right now, but... Okay, Bard is still faster than Equip Hearts Ferris, which makes sense because of the impact of equipment weight. Oh, look at that, we get potions. Strange. Do. This overworld music, I think, is my favorite overworld music in this game. That's funny. Wow, we feel strong, don't we? It's a nice feeling. Do I want to fight any randoms here? They don't really do anything, do they? Oh, I think I left my gold boost on. I don't really need that anymore. Let's play it more in the intended vibe. It looks like Bart's is out-damaging Ferris. I don't know if that's because of the elemental effect of the trident, or... Oh no, okay, that's not the case. One more before we hit the bridge. Probably a lot of people use the boost rather recklessly and like turn off encounters as they need to nowadays. I'm not trying to change the experience too much, nor am I trying to speedrun this game. Perhaps obviously. Yeah, Galuf, I guess, is slightly behind in terms of level right now. He also got the fewest abilities in AVP. He was freelancer for a lot of the first world, so... Oh, listen to that guitar lick there. Flying Killer. It's a good name. Oh, there's an extra little harmony of some sort there. That's interesting. There's kind of a counter melody that you actually can't quite hear as well in this version. I just got an achievement. I don't know if they're showing up. Called Experienced Warrior Defeated 1,000 Monsters. I guess that means individual monsters, not types of monsters. Funny that that only happened now with all the stupid turtles I killed for a while there. I understand there's some kind of feature where you can go into bestiary, pick an enemy, and it like starts a fight with them, but I don't think those fights provide rewards. Let's look at that. Let's look at that. Maybe a dumb time for it, but whatever. I like that trumpet ringing out at this exact point in the combat. Something funny just happened with my streaming. So, yeah. So, what do I want to do here? How about we kill him? Okay, not on myself. Is this gonna one-shot him? Oh, it did not. Too bad. Alright, thank you. Thank you for joining me, yeah. Do I want to Succubus Kiss again? I mean, there's no question that I'll win with it, right? I just feel a little cheap. I can't complain that everything is cheap, including good tactics, I guess, but seems to be how it's happening. Okay. Yeah, sorry. I guess it was right during that join that I had to refresh. Things went weird for me, so thank you. The point in the game where just having the 4 jobs, especially after getting all those relatively late game jobs, the point where the party finally has all their options in front of them. Although really, I still have options to unlock, given that I still have so many abilities to gain. There isn't a lot of synergy. It's a lot of equip harps, but it still feels good. Well, thank you. Yes. I figured there's probably a lot of people who could stumble into something like this without knowing what's going on. Although someone who was here was saying like, "Hey, someone else I watch happens to be playing Final Fantasy V," and yeah, I thought it was a fairly well-known thing, at least among Final Fantasy nerds. But I guess it depends on what circles you run in. So, Final Fantasy nerds are a large and diverse group of nerds. Oh, weird. Oh, this battle feels slower. I'm not one-shotting them with a Berserker. How unusual. Maybe Bart shouldn't be jumping. We get a bit of an equipment upgrade momentarily. 2 buddies playing it right now, just casually, not for Fiesta reasons. How funny! How funny that 2 people would be playing it right now, just kind of randomly in the Fiesta season. I don't know. I think 4-Job Fiesta is one of those rather interesting things where certainly the creators didn't intend it. But it's raised a kind of crazy amount of money for charities. And funny that it hasn't been a bigger phenomenon. I think it probably reached an early peak when people realized, when the Penny Arcade people were at kind of the peak of their notoriety and backing their own Child's Play charity. And this was one of the big contributors to Child's Play. So that kind of was probably... I imagine this did peak. And then this event fell off in the last few years because of the maybe debated but probably not downfall of Twitter, right? This used to be fully facilitated with a Twitter bot. What do I want here? Would that be useful? But it's one of those things where that thing that they do in big speed runs, and by that I'm referring mostly to GDQ, where they have people donate toward the incentive of save the animals or kill the animals. The developers never intended that, and it's raised, I believe the number is over $1 million towards humanitarian charities. The stupid animals that you kill for the one friggin' tiny, it's 4 pixels that moves away from the explosion at the end of Super Metroid, and that's gotten all those people to donate so much money towards charitable causes. It's bizarre. I probably want a Gaia gear. Okay. Maybe I should sell some things? I bet I'm carrying a bunch of stupid armor I can't use. I mean, all these swords are trash now. Probably a lot of these are trash, too. The rods are trash, which is a little on the sad side. Bow's trash. I got a lot of bows. Whip's trash. Feel kind of bad about that. Wow, look how much money I made selling things. The ribbon is trash. Oh my. Okay. Well, we have lots of money for whatever we want now. I don't know if I actually want golden armor. I might rather keep the... I mean, this is okay. Whatever. Okay. Yeah, I don't think that this character's magic actually matters. And if I needed to heal, I got healing stabs. They can still use stabs. Okay, how about you? You want that Ori Halcom? Where'd it go? Oh, oops. Oh, you might want a harp? I don't know. Okay, this is pretty close to what I was actually intending when I made those purchases. Alright. Do you sell high potions? I don't think so. Oh, they do. Oh! These are all pretty great. What matters the most? Okay, this is something to keep in mind. I don't think I need to, like, grind out money for those or anything, but it's... Let me be mindful of. I don't think there's anything else really... Oh, wait. This village, I think, has a piano. I should check with the bar. Yo, yo, yo! Okay. I gotta dance. I must dance. Sup, dude? What's up with you? I don't know what's up with me. Nice moves. Yes, thank you. I don't know if I can dance as well as this character. Hey, not too shabby. Hey, we got paid for that. Oh, no, I just danced. Well, I want to get to the... There's a piano, isn't there? Yeah. Oh, okay. I remembered that being a thing. I thought it might have been up on the stage, so I thought I had to dance to get to the piano. And I have to play the piano because by the end of the game... I need to become an expert piano player to unlock the, There's some fairly good bard song. I think it's the bard song that raises your level. Lots of reasons to be on the stage. Okay, we're gonna pass the, sealed castle momentarily, which we can't do anything with. So, I don't know, maybe I'll step in so it puts a little dot on my map and that's it. Oh, aren't these guys, like, really hard? Oh, no, they're really hard, like, later. There's multiple versions of this enemy, if I recall correctly. Oh, that sucks. Nine-Cup Legendary. Oh, that's so good. I'm very excited about that. I hope there was a grand announcement when it happened. You don't have a healer. Yeah, Chemist makes an okay healer. I like having mass healing, I can tell you. I can throw the healing staff on the Chemist if I really needed to, but I lazily put on auto battle enough that I'm quite hesitant to do so. Yeah, I've never actually had Chemist in a 4-job Fiesta before. I know that they are widely regarded as game-breaking. I've had Bard before, and I know that Bard can be kind of awesome, so... don't remember where I'm going. Okay, this is an event trigger right in front of me. Meteor run. I did volcano. So it rolled random for every crystal. Yeah. I kind of want to do one of those more random ones. You know, the one time I put in full chaos, I got 2 dancers, white mage, blue mage. Which is kind of an amazing team, except your principal offense for the overwhelming majority of the game is dance. I've never had the privilege of mime or freelancer in 4-Job Fiesta, which I think would be great fun. Monk Dragoon is awful. And you got 0 synergy. You probably were doing the thing where you hunted certain beasts, monsters for the purpose of Beastmaster again and again, and had to like restock them before every boss, right? Cast Baraga. Yeah. Baraga. I was explaining Baraga to one of my kids the other day. That Baraga is a spell where you throw a powerful bear. I think it was because, and I might be remembering wrong, they were using all the Aga spells that Sora has in Smash Bros. And so it brought to mind all those Aga spells. There was Thundaga, there was Blizzaga, and I was like, use Baraga! And then I had to explain the reference, which of course didn't make it funny at all. I don't remember. You can always count on me to explain a joke too much. Or to react to my own jokes when no one else does. Because, I mean, someone's got to laugh, right? You got that dad joke? That's good. Respect. There was one yesterday that brought about a whole dad joke conversation, and I don't remember what it was. I sure thought it was funny. I don't know. I suppose my opinion might not matter. Oops, I did something dumb. I didn't mean to Romeo's Ballad. I thought this might get protracted, and I wanted a Mighty March to idly fill up a little bit of hit points. But that might be fruitless. There is no fruit. Beating this blood slime may prove challenging. The Berserker could probably do it. But the Berserker's targeting other things. The biggest statue. Bears? I love bears. Yeah, useful. I don't have access to bears for my particular playthrough. Well, I do have the Berserkers, and they wear animal skins. I don't know. I don't think it's the same thing. They, some of them look like they're wearing cat skins, like Ferris there. And when Bartz or Galuf are a Berserker, they appear to be wearing Grey Wolf skins. Did I go the right way? We're doing it. I don't know if everyone does it, but I very much picture the effect of the healing staff being bonking someone over the head with it, and then they feel better. Wolves, I love wolves. Okay, Glyph got equip hearts. That gives us some options later on. Not especially great options, but options. Oh, fun. Thank you. Oh, look what I did when I wasn't paying attention. Oh, the Dream Harp is awful. Okay. Oh, I did it again! Oh my goodness. I need to wake up. See you. Those people may or may not live with me. If that weren't obvious. I mean, I've had my kids join me for videos before. Not especially often, but every so often. There, I was about to do it again. There was a time when one of my kids joined me for a Shining Force stream. And it was actually really kind of cool. Although it was a battle where I lost by putting the leader in the way, and when they found out I had to repeat the rest of the battle, they seemed to get really discouraged and lose interest very quickly. I think they just walked away. That Ori Halcon Dirk does not a useful fighter make. Like, maybe I'm better off with the healing staff, I just don't want to keep accidentally healing enemies. Oops. Oh well. Yeah, see, the Berserker can take out the Blood Slime, which has very high defense because of the damage formula for axes, largely ignoring defense. Yeah, I like Shining Force, and I'm one of the total weirdos. We were talking about Shining Force recently, me and Ixie, who's probably still here. Because they were saying, of old games that they played without nostalgia goggles, they really liked Shining Force 2. For me, it's funny because I'm sure I'm very much in the minority here. I like Shining Force 1 more, and I think it's exactly because of nostalgia. Because I played a lot of Shining Force 1 as a kid at a friend's house who had it, and I never played Shining Force 2. And so, like, almost everyone says Shining Force 1 is, like, the game to play in that series, and that's not a thing for me, so. Okay. Epic boss fight. You like one more. How peculiar. There are not a lot of people who say that. I don't know what my kids might be playing, but you didn't finish 2. Yeah, I don't think I got beyond the first few battles of 2. But I was very interested in TASes for a long time. Basically until I met my wife. Then I became more interested in her and less interested in TASes. I still like TASes, but I used to watch all of them. And I rated a lot of TASes on taskvideos.org. They had a rating feature built in, and I was like, I'm going to literally rate every non-obsoleted task. And so for a while, I did that. I'm trying to remember this because I do not have this memorized. Okay, really, the start's the most important part, right? Alright. So, like, I used to watch tasks of games I wasn't that familiar with. Which, I don't know. I think it really helped me evaluate what was an interesting game or when a bad game could be saved by an interesting speedrun. I feel like I'm going the wrong way. All you need to do is not walk on the sand, though, right? Easy peasy. Got it. More interested in my wife than Taz. Yeah. Uh-oh. Was I supposed to go to a certain spot? I wasn't paying attention. Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't know. My life changed at a fairly rapid pace around 2010, and that's around when I stopped being... I don't know. I never tasked myself, besides like very tiny little explorations into certain tech that I would like share with the group. I never published a task. But I liked that community, and I watched tasks. I gave feedback, especially on the games I knew well, like Final Fantasy 1, Phantasy Star 4. I had a lot of feedback on the early efforts on Phantasy Star 4. I introduced them to the underflow glitch that then became commonplace. I have a proof of concept video published on one of my old YouTube videos that shows, like, if you get Chaz at a very low level and you get him the Shadow Blade, his mental stat underflows, and that's when you get huge damage against even late-game bosses. And so they started doing this tech where they would kill off Chaz as much as possible to make certain boss fights much quicker. I'm not saying I'm the originator of that. I was the first person to publish a video about that. The idea of underflowed stats was known. I can say that. Oh, Dancing Dagger. Hey, that might be really fun for my chemist friend here. Good stat boost. I mean, it's gonna be better because... Capo. Oh. Yeah, Fantasy Star 4. And then on the first published full tasks, I also I also produced I think on 2 early Fantasy Star 4 tasks, I produced full-length commentary tracks because they were doing that at the time. So I had like an audio file that would be played alongside the thing. The person who did those tasks, their username was Janice, and at the time I was in the English-speaking world, kind of the authority on that game. And that's changed with certainly Lady Ariana Starbird's explorations into the game in creating the randomizer, but also as the speedrunning communities have grown, I am absolutely no longer the world authority on Phantasy Star 4. Still really like the game, though. Nose. Was there something good in one of the other trees? Like, there's a trick to get an item where you dress up like a Moogle, and then one of the other Moogles finds you attractive or something. That's a thing, right? And for that, I thank him, yeah. Although it's funny, I was lightly critical of it recently when I said something like, that is a game where there isn't much in the way of builds. You kind of go through the game in a fairly linear way, and every playthrough, by and large, looks the same. Although, the encounter table is very unpredictable in that game. It doesn't lend itself amazingly well to speedrunning. The speedrunners do well with what they've got, but the random number generator in that game is like informed by both time passing and inputs, including unused inputs. Like if you use a 6-button controller, you can just, for task purposes, you could I guess whatever else is in Moogle Village probably doesn't matter. You can manipulate inputs using the unused buttons, I believe, which is strange. It means you're able to play that game with no encounters, and that's actually how the Phantasy Star 2 TASs work. I believe they like fully nullify encounters, except for maybe a grind to be able to beat the end boss. But like, it's possible to get to the end boss of Phantasy Star 2. I understand with no encounters. Oh, this song sounds quite different in this arrangement, huh? This is my first time playing Pixel Remaster, so the new graphics and music arrangements and things are actually very novel for me. This normally has such a blaring trumpet sound, but this sounds rather subdued. Yeah, like I like the music, but this one doesn't sound the way I expected. This song might be the first one in the game where I'm like, the original was better. Yeah, I agree with that. A surprise and a half. Ha! That is funny, given the subject of dad jokes and everything. Don't forget to take the teleport spell with you. There we go. That does absolutely nothing for us. Dragon Grass. Yeah, so because of the translations and my being familiar with Final Fantasy V before it was ever released in the Western world, I remember Drakenvale is like one of those made-up names, kind of like in newer versions of Final Fantasy IV, they say Feymarch, where, you know, it was most proper to call what's now called the Feymarch the land of summoned monsters, is what you would say when you were a Final Fantasy IV player who was, I don't know, American. The Drakenvale was called Valley of the Flying Dragons, and the Wind Drakes, as they're called now, were just called Flying Dragons or Hirayu. In some of the early translations, they just literally called them Hirayu. They were like, there's not a neat translation to English, so let's just call it the Japanese word that describes it effectively. And that's something to do with like Ryu is dragon and he is like flying or something like that. So what have I done with my life? Oh my god. Okay. Oh yeah, you can grind these idiots. I don't think I have much to gain from it. But the interesting thing about these fellows is they die when you use gold needles on them because they're statues. They give you pretty good ABP, but that doesn't matter very much for us, so I'm gonna just go ahead and not. There is a use case for kind of sitting here for a long time. Basically, you come back to that area later when you want to fight Odin. I will end up probably having zero reason to fight Odin. You're charging the king to sleep in his castle? Do I need to heal? Sorta. My MP certainly doesn't matter. Are there people who are pissed off about the pixel remasters? I mean, maybe the cost, maybe the fact that they don't include some of the content from certain versions, but I didn't think anyone was too upset about the handling of these versions. Again, you gotta think it's sort of funny that they charge the king that much. Bartz gets a discount in his own hometown, but they make the king pay full price for potions. This is the part where you get the king's sword, which I feel compelled to do, but it does not matter. Haters gonna hate, yeah. Yeah, I guess I could always find something to pick on in some version. It's oh, this is not where the king. Oh, there it is. I think any port. I don't think there's ever been an actual definitive port of a game. Although, when I see the word definitive, that makes me think of that Xenoblade Chronicles Definitive Edition. I have to think probably no one was complaining about the Xenoblade Chronicles Definitive Edition. Unless they hate the anime-looking characters. So, actually, yeah, there probably are some people complaining about that. There is an item here called the Angel Robe that is, like, entirely chemist exclusive. These are all the same items. I'm sure these are the same armor. Oh. No, I don't want that. But, yeah, this angel robe. It's interesting. It's pretty good, and for some reason, only for chemists. No, I would not, sir. Thank you. It's not amazing. But it's got a balance of defense and magic defense that makes it probably the best thing right now, so. High stamina. Not interesting. Doesn't affect hit points. Oh, okay. Sure. This game does a good job of peppering little hidden stuff all over places, especially like the game's settlements. It kind of feels really satisfying to get to each one, because each place, it's not just a shop. There's something everywhere. Oh, I've already been in here. And then this is nothing for some reason. There's this big... Yeah, okay. I think we're good. Luckily, there's very little between us and the next settlement. I'm not going to try and fight the gill turtle now. That'd be dumb. But, although... Could Succubus Kiss do something to it? This idiot again? This is the same one I fought earlier, right? Wow, Sword Dance was awesome. I can good be happy I have that dancing dagger. So you go to the right and there's a cave where you get a whole bunch of money and you fight a very hard enemy that's sort of like, you could call it the third super boss-ish. Generally, when I fight it, I lose. I wonder, though, if I might legitimately have an option in Succubus Kiss. Nothing else I have is any good at all. I'll give it one shot. Normally, you know, if you thought it was worthwhile, it would be a thing you would do maybe at the end of this segment of the game. And there's two paths through here. One is like just a way of traveling. Oh, wait, you want to give yourself float. A way of traveling between here and the continent that has Exdeath's castle on it. Oh, look at that. Okay, so that kind of shows where the path is. So if you go right, everything's cool and you just go outside. So, oh. Hilarious. Well, let's get floated. So how do you float? I got my piece of paper here telling me how to mix. Antidote and Maiden's Kiss. Let's try that. We're probably gonna have to mix it on everybody. This it's gonna take a little while. I say that both because of the undergrounders that were just showing up, but more so because the Gill Turtle also uses Earthshaker. Same thing that Titan was using previously. Okay, so we're all floating. This is still very likely to suck. If Succubus Kiss does not help defeat the Gill Turtle, then it's just not happening. I apparently don't know how to walk. Bart's Mastered Lance. That is, stupid. I don't know if that's ever going to be useful for me. Okay, so what you start seeing is as you walk along here, you start seeing 1 Gill, 2 Gill, 4 Gill, and like it keeps going up in square terms. The way I remember it. Maybe I'm remembering wrong. But the encounter rate goes really high and you start encountering the Gill Turtle. I don't know if I would have to beat him more than once. Like, he's not actually like a fight. Oh, it's after this door. It's possible that like a Goliath tonic or something like that could also help me, but I would need a way to survive. I think what I need is offense, and so I thought Succubus Kiss, which, as we learned, is... Oh god. I've learned nothing. Huh. I've fully forgotten what it is. Maiden's Kiss and Turtle Shell? Maiden's Kiss and Turtle Shell. Yeah. Ironically against Turtle. Okay, so it's not square terms in 1, it's square terms in 2. Alright. Oh, that's not good. That's really not good. This is not happening right now. We've all learned a valuable lesson this day about how we treat turtles. Valuable lesson. Okay, well, on to Drakenvale. If Succubus Kiss doesn't work, I'm probably not even gonna try and fight Guild Turtle later. Really? I don't think I'm gonna have... Well... Chemist gives you an awfully big toolkit. Maybe there is a way I could beat them. I would need something to survive those big hits. I don't know. Lance. Lance can be useful in certain scenarios, like if you put it on an actual spellcaster or someone with equip harps. It can be used to drain hit points and magic points. I have no use for magic points. I don't know. I don't think it's ever going to be practical for me. For any character. Like, there's just no reason. I mean, it's better than attacking with a knife, but... I don't think it has any particular synergies with this class set. Even equip axes, like I'm thinking about that. Is like, am I ever going to want to put equip axes on, say, a bard to make the bard like a dominating physical attacker? That could be useful. If you catch a Cornago, you can get a Cornago gourd here. What I do get in this town, actually, is my next song, Requiem. Which is a song that does enormous damage to undead enemies. No one's here? We are the Wolf Ninjas. Game changer in the grinding department. Requiem is? It kind of can be. Like, this next dungeon has a bunch of undead dragon enemies. And they drop dragon fangs, which are one of those other amazing chemist items. So the ability to inflict significant damage to a group of undead enemies is pretty awesome. Lupine attack. So wolfy. It's funny to think that that happens no matter what Bart's class is. Right now he's a bard, right? The bard just plowed the wolf warrior through a doorway. I kinda just realized that the text boxes changed where they were located on the screen. Kind of a Chrono Triggery way. That wasn't in older versions, was it? It couldn't have been. If Galuf was such a great Dawn Warrior, how come he was a level 1 freelancer when we met him? Amnesia? Maybe amnesia. Galuf is also the only one without a cape there. Which really makes him look like a total noob. Total noob. Everyone knows real Dawn Warriors wear capes. I always find kind of the neon colors of the outfits. Like, if you look at Galuf's outfit, and it's like a yellow jumpsuit with a pink belt and pink sleeves, and then, like, this big green sticking out collar, it, like, looks like, you know, what people thought the future would look like in the mid-'80s. Like, you think of the Neutrinos from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and they think they're all cool, right? And they look like Galuf. They look like the old-timey version of the future. Galuf himself. He would have looked weird in the 90s. Would look even weirder now, I don't know. It's a funny outfit. I don't think his official art shows the yellow jumpsuit. Green shoulders, pink sleeves. And I think all of the characters are just oddly colorful in this game. Not that that's a terrible thing. I like the color, but... You could even say that Bart's killed Kelger. Requiem. I don't think this place has anything amazing in the shops, but we'll have a look. There's a place where you could get the Cornago gourd, but that doesn't really... Is this thing gonna matter? Is this thing gonna matter? I don't know. Probably not. The headband in some games has like a status immunity. I think it would have said if it did. Okay, that's same old, same old. Shops are getting a little boring right now, gotta tell you. Speaking of boring... Same old, same old. Okay. They do not want us spending our money here. Is there an item shop here for me to squander all my... No one has ever returned from Dragonville? Oh, come on. Maybe I ought to save up for a while. I have lots of consumables. I don't think I'm going to run out of mixes. If anything, I might need Phoenix Downs? I don't know. Oh, maybe I should get some of the drink items. Or maybe I need this, because there are zombie enemies coming up. Drink only affects oneself, right? Like, I can't use these on the Berserker. Okay, so now, although Mix is nice, I think it might be good to have the Chemist able to sing Requiem. I think we might end up mastering some things in the not-too-distant future. We have to get Golem here to even proceed at one point. These enemies, I believe, are not undead. They're just angry cats. My cats are leaving me alone today, so... There are no angry cats in real life, is what I'm saying. Aren't these enemies undead? Are they undead cats? You know what's crazy? The way their palette changes when they get hit by Romeo's ballad makes it look like, for a moment, like they look almost like there's a cat skeleton. You know, like when someone's comically electrocuted and they turn into a skeleton? Like in Mystic Quest, it looks like that. What do you fellows do? They have an ability... I remember learning this. Last time, one of the last few times I played this, I confused them, and they reset the battle. They can reset the battle, but I don't think they do it in normal combat. They just... Ooh. Are there dragons in here? There are. Okay, dragon thing. So, like, to some extent, grinding here might be a good idea. I don't want it to guide my entire life. But... Okay, those guys don't drop dragon fangs, just the zombie dragons do. They're probably the easiest source of dragon fangs. I could be wrong about that. But this is not a fun grind like the turtles. I don't know, it's still fairly fast. I think those are probably my first dragon fangs, right? One of the key uses of the Dragon Fang is the ability to... there's an awesome defensive one. There's a couple awesome defensive ones. But also one that boosts your level. And that has some significant ramifications. Are these enemies undead? These kitties? No? Cats that cannot be seduced. I wonder if those drippy guys drop tents because their bros back on that original tiny island drop tents. There's some kind of tent-loving subspecies of a tent-loving grander species. Not to pigeonhole. Okay, getting lots of dragon fangs. That's great. But we need to stay a little healthier, I think. Why is the game chugging? Is the game chugging? It feels laggy. This game should not be laggy for anyone ever. Too bad those bone dragons don't actually drop dragon fangs, or if they do, they're rarer. I think we're going to play it the same way. We're going to use Romeo's Ballad to pin them down. Have less chance of them turning us into zombies, because that is a thing. I wonder why they made it so that the Berserker would target enemies in the back row. Like, even if they randomized targets but just didn't clearly target the less optimal back enemies, that would have been way better. Okay, so here's the part where I always get confused. This is where Gollum starts showing up, and I never remember, like, how to beat him. Oh, that's nice. Somewhere here you get the bone mail. Maybe it's in a different part of the map. Bone mail is a rather unique armor that kind of gives you undead-like traits, like a lot of status immunities, but healing magic starts hurting you. Yeah, there we go. Where's Gollum? Here he is. We should be able to rescue him no problem with all this singing. Don't kill him, you idiot. Okay. was one of the easier golem rescues. I've had some struggles with that in the past, honestly. Yeah, I'm pretty sure you have to do that, because it opens up a passage, possibly in here? Somewhere. Oh, even with Romeo's Ballad, that guy gets turned. So he's one of those enemies that's, they give them, I don't know if it's the heavy flag or some other flag associated with them, gives them like a partial stop resistance, and you would need multiple people using Romeo's Ballad to actually keep them fully pinned down. That is a thing sometimes. What is happening? Maybe I'm misremembering the thing about Golem. Oops. I did that multiple times and meant to have the thing off. I kind of wanted this, but it doesn't matter very much. I feel like we're getting more powerful on a good curve right now. I don't know if something... because you have exponential damage formulas and whatnot, if we hit some kind of... something that benefits us more greatly mathematically. Since I can't pin him down, I'm like, obviously using Requiem more to win a damage race is going to be the better option. Oh my god. That sucks. I say about winning the damage race, right? Maybe we're just more powerful because... Oh, I forgot. I don't have mix anymore. I was going to use Mix to heal Bart's. It's funny because you got a healer, and that's nice. But Mixes can only be used in battle. So... No! Oh. I was kind of hoping to capture... Oh, weird. The moment that the 999 popped up. You talked about Requiem being a game changer for grinding. Yeah, there's certain screens here where it would be making quite a difference. We have cottages now because tents don't necessarily fill you to full in this game, but I don't think they're really going to matter that much. Do I want to grind for Dragon Fangs now, or does it make sense to do it later? Consult our handy piece of paper here. Dragon Fang and Potion. Very potent. How many of these am I going to need? Maybe I should grind Dragon Fangs here. Is this the right screen for it? Oh my goodness. That was what the Dragoon was going to jump on. Now he's going to feel silly. Okay, I don't feel that silly. Hopefully the Dragoon doesn't feel that silly. Yeah, grinding items is an interesting thing because the boosts can affect your experience, gold, and ABP, but not your gained items. So if I had a boost on, as when I fought the turtles, it would be reducing the amount of time I'm doing it effectively. I don't know. It's not reducing it. It's gaining more money for the same amount of experience. Like fighting Kaizokus in Final Fantasy 1. There's an efficiency. You don't want your level to go too high. That can trivialize things. I don't think you're going to find that with this game, though. This game's got a mellow experience curve. That is a zombie attack. I don't want to be turned into a zombie. I am fighting a lot of consecutive bone dragons. Yeah, I think we're going to stick with this stupid auto battle strategy here too, because nothing here is anywhere near as dangerous as the zombie dragon. Although probably I shouldn't have Bart's jumping for reasons similar to what we talked about earlier. Lena mastered Recover. What is Recover? Okay, so it's like a command ability that's straight up heal status. I don't know if I've ever used it in this game. It's funny because the ability they call Recover in Final Fantasy VIII, which does have a fair number of similar command abilities for some reason. Recover is an HP recovery in that game. And then there's one called Revive that's like straight up revive character to full HP at no cost. I'm glad Bone keeps missing. How many Dragon Fangs do I want? Maybe it doesn't matter. I can always come back here. If I came back here stronger, then these fights would be even more trivial. The Left Mastered Sing. Mastered. I should swap him. I did something dumb there if you didn't notice. You probably did notice. Sure. Does not matter. Could matter, probably not. Okay. Yeah, that's fine. That's good. The bard is not singing a whole lot anyway. This is getting dumb. Still fast, whatever. Nobody cares. Alright, what is our Dragon Fang count? 19. 19's pretty good. This isn't taking long. This is arguably faster than the stupid turtle shells. The other thing I need to be mindful of is even using the regular item command with a chemist is twice as strong as other characters. Which can mean a high potion heals like 1,000 hit points. Like, it can be really useful. Speaking of Shadoway saying that they regretted not having a healer or whatever. Not regretted, but wish they had one. Regretted is if you have choice. So that's part of the 4-job Fiesta is it's not just picking 4 jobs that you think could be interesting. It is you are assigned the jobs at random. So back in the Twitter days, it used to be done via a Twitter bot that was Gilgabot. And nowadays it's just done basically in a web script that identifies you by a Google account. So you just need a Google account to sign up officially. And maybe that'll change again. Who knows? Maybe they'll switch to using Blue Sky, and then Blue Sky will get bought by some weirdo in the right wing or whatever. Yeah, I haven't set myself a cutoff point for this grind, such as it is. I should probably have done that. Don't proc the death effect. Good. Proc. Oh, there we go. It'll be funny if it happens again. Oh. Okay, that's lots of Dragon Fangs, right? I don't know. Been a while. I don't feel like I'm getting stronger, so... I guess it happens in bumps. This is a pretty good level, though. Like, I usually get to World 3 around 30. So, I think my levels might be on the high side. Oh, that was funny. One wasn't affected, and then it started attacking. I barely ever summon a Spirit of Death to attack kitty cats. Barely ever. Hardly at all. So this boss's weakness is area of effect attacks, which I have none of. Really, this would have been a good opportunity to use a death potion, but I forgot to put Mix on the Chemist. So, what am I going to do here? I can probably just Romeo's Ballad this thing. Yeah, okay. So if I keep it locked down like this... I think this is going to be a long and stupid fight. I don't think it can hurt me, can it? Is that going to work? That's so cool! We won with Death Axe, friend. Death Sickle. Nice. Here's where you might use that teleport spell. They probably did that purposefully. They were like, here's your opportunity. Maybe you can't teleport out of here. Teleport works differently in like inside and outside areas in some games, right? So... For some reason, my screenshot was like gigantic. Do. Well, that Dragon Pod fight went nicely. I appreciate that. Right. Yeah, for some reason I had memory of Gollum opens up the pathway, but I guess I've super made that up. I didn't mean to lie. Oops. Let's run. Screw this noise. Getting smacked around with my weak characters in the front row. Not ideal. That took a long time to run. Super cat speed, I guess. When we get those battles with the two bone dragons and we got two requiems going, it is very fast and sort of nice. Wait, these eagles are evasive. Like, I know Requiem was never going to hit it, but I'm kind of just realizing no wonder they go down so slowly in so many of these fights. They keep dodging. This dungeon has very few enemies, doesn't it? Why am I bothering to buff? It's a single friggin' kitty cat. I guess you could say the same thing this time, but whatever. Would have been fun if that worked, because we might have seen him reset the battle. Pretty happy music for a village where no one's left to fight. No judgment, I guess, but fun. No judgment, but come on is kind of like a pretty meaningless take, huh? There is judgment. Here is the judgment. Were snake. I wonder what that transformation looks like. Nice to get a free hero cocktail. I mean, not that they're expensive. In some games, in some Final Fantasy games, hero drinks are rather special. They're a big deal in 7. If the enemies are watching, they know how to come into the castle. Through the toilet? Is that what that is? Yeah, actually I will rest. Guido, also known as Gil. Psychotically. But remember, we learned earlier that windrakes can cure poison. Completely play it with an arcade stick. That's interesting. Why, just to torture yourself? I don't know if that would do much for you. There's a lot of these things. Speaking of novelty gameplay, there's people who are like, "Can I play this game with the dumbest controller possible?" You've probably seen those ones where people will try to play like platformers with Guitar Hero controllers and whatnot. Or there was a guy at GDQ a couple years ago who beat Mario 64 with a drum kit. It was really fun. Power Glove. The Power Glove. My experience with the Power Glove, and I did legitimately have some. I never owned one, but I had close friends who did. They lived a house over from me, and I remember the game we were playing with the Power Glove most of all was 1943, and it was like any time you like moved a finger, you'd use up your lightning strike attack, and we thought the lightning strike attack was the coolest thing. So we'd always put all our points at the start of the map of 1943 into the lightning attack, which is so stupid. We were dumb children. But I just remember, we couldn't control the thing with the Power Glove at all. But we kept trying. And that was the only game I remember using Power Glove with, was 1943. I'm not sure if there is a game that was well suited to it, but that game was poorly suited to the Power Glove. I think we can go to Surgate Castle early, can't we? There's something useful about that, like equipment or song, something. There's something here, I think, that benefits me. Sometimes this trip is very unnecessary. I guess it's dependent on your classes in all likelihood. Where are all the goodies in this friggin' castle? Float. Okay, we got float. That does 0 for us, naturally. This room does nothing. This room does pretty much nothing. Other than learning the genius of Lance. This room's done. This room's nothing. Other than exposition. Okay. So far, that was Rather unexciting. There we go. That's actually useful. That is actually the first real stat buffing song that Bard learns. And if you have a Bard sitting there singing, and they're singing, 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 your speed just keeps going up. And as long as you don't need the Bard, they can kind of like boost your speed to rather game-breaking levels. So it's kind of great in certain circumstances. Here we are. May as well. May as well. Winning with the giant cactuar is so satisfying. What? Final Fantasy VIII? What are we talking about? Oh, sorry. Oh, jeez. Okay. You gave me no context on that one. Yeah. This is the same friggin' armor from 100 years ago. Okay, really not interested in that. Is there a chance I will want a second axe? Probably not. Probably if I ever want to do 2 axes, I'll want that death sickle. So I think I just won't buy that. When it attacks, it gets plus 9999 power. That can be blocked by a 0-1. That does feel like a Final Fantasy mechanic, doesn't it? Had I already gone this way? I did. Not when you cast an instant with trample on. Oh, yeah. Yeah, actually, useful. Okay, I think we're done here. So we go to Sage Guido, and then we can go to Gilgamesh. Sorry, it says that's Fleet. And that's fine. Barrier Tower is going to end up being a pain in the butt, naturally. I don't think I need to grind for Reflect Rings the way I normally would. However, having 2 Reflect Rings might be an asset for, like, Fork Tower, which I probably want to do? There might not be very much reason, I don't know. I think I'd like to get 2 Reflect Rings. Like, seeing as we have no magic, Reflect has none of its usual downsides, right? So... in fact, just wearing 4 Reflect Rings at all times could actually just be really useful. But grinding out 4 Reflect Rings sucks. That's big time. So I think I'll do the Fleet and probably stop there. There's this is actually a really good opportunity to Death Potion. So what I'll do is I'll throw Mix on my Chemist here. Chemist. Go right to the Fleet. Where's the Fleet? Over on this side of the castle, right? So when you got a 9999 with trample, and someone can't block the instant, like trample is like infinite overflow, right? Like we're talking about you could run through 20 monsters, right? Like there's no limit to how much you can trample. Yeah. Trample was badass even in the very old Magic card day. I remember having some kind of like war mammoth that was like a 3/4 trample or something. Even that was useful. I used to mostly play like 90% of the Magic card games I ever played were with my older brother. He played a black deck. Every so often, he would combine it with red or blue. And I played almost exclusively white and green, very white heavy. And we used to build it in a way that was like just incredibly designed to counter each other. He used to have all these super anti-white things, like gloom. What was it? Every time you tap a. Oh no, I'm thinking of the one I played on him. I forget what it was called, but it was every time you tap a swamp, you take 3 damage or something like that. Force of Nature, 8/8, trample 8 to cost. I don't remember getting any amazingly powerful monsters that I actually played. I remember the novelty of like the Polar Kraken being kind of a big deal back then, and a few others. In regular play, there was like a 6/5 I played often, or maybe it was a 5/6, and I really liked the Sarah Angel, which I think was just 4/4 first strike and flying. I don't remember what you do here. Vigilance and flying? Is that different from first strike? Did they rename the ability? Because, I mean, I am talking about very, very old cards. No tap to attack. Oh, that's cool. Is that a Sarah Angel thing nowadays or something? That sounds familiar now that you mention it. So I was able to use her to defend against certain things. I don't remember my brother having a lot of good creatures. He was mostly it was a big old FU deck is what he had. All the interrupt counter spells and whatever. There weren't a lot of good creatures. But there was a lot of just gotchas, you know? Always was? Okay, I don't remember that. Alright. We're going to attempt to cheese Gilgamesh. Like so. Phoenix down, Dark Matter, go. That wasn't going to be a hard fight to begin with, but that was funny. We didn't have to fight Enkidu at all. That was pretty good. Is that supposed to be funny? Like, they've put multiple jokes into his... Wait. We just met him, right? Like... Spells were way more OP. Well, I mean, in my Magic card playing day, there were certain things that broke the game that everyone was aware of. There were banned cards very early on. Like, Channel. Are you familiar with Channel? Channel is, give away any amount of life to gain that much colorless mana. Yeah. It was one of the... I don't know if it's fair to say one of the earliest banned cards, because Magic existed for a couple years before I ever started playing. But, you know, you would play green-red. Yeah, Channel Fireball. And just, you're done. It was busted. You could... It was possible to win in a turn or two, and have your opponent be very unable to respond to it. So the boss of this next area is Atomos, who I don't really have tricks for, although Bard using Swift Song is an option. Whisperweed, Echo Grass, Twinhark, whatever the heck it is. I don't remember other banned cards. I remember thinking that the cards that back then were incredibly valuable. There was a bunch of little, what were they called? Scarabs and orchids. And they were... Oh, that's going to be annoying. They were worth hundreds of dollars even in the mid-90s. Yeah, the Moxes, yeah. And I didn't really understand why they were considered potent. And I think I looked at them since, and I was like, oh yeah, those actually are kind of good, but I imagine it was much more rarity-driven than anything else. Oh, that's gonna be so annoying. You want a protracted battle, because that's how you get protracted battles. Uh-oh, that missed the neon. Oh, stupid. Okay. I don't know what the valuations on those things were like now, but I never had anything like that. I don't know if I had anything amazingly valuable. There was actually... I told you about having all those cards valuated just a couple years ago. And it's funny, because most of the cards are trash. Like, really, any value you're extracting is just... Oh. Do I want to fight this dragon? We're gonna try fighting this dragon. Ah! Wrong dragons! Wrong dragons! Oh, come on. This stupid game. You could have a mock smeared in dog shit and it would be worth something. They don't require much in quality for it to be tournament playable. Interesting. Yeah, I mean, mine were probably really bad. But, yeah, I don't think I had anything anywhere near that caliber, but there was a few things I had that drove up the value. I don't remember what those were, but you know what? Around the time I was doing that, I did try and value my cards a little bit so that I wouldn't be ripped off too much. So I tried to get a net value for all of my Magic cards. So I have some spreadsheet. I'm sure I still have it somewhere, even though I don't have the cards anymore. That was just basically an amateur evaluation of... Oh, that's very unusual. You see that? That was strange. Yeah, I had something that was worth something, but not way. It wasn't like way over $100 or anything. I don't even remember what it was. Use any language to foreign cards go for less. Interesting. Yeah, and I remember the Chronicles set emerging, which was basically reprints from older sets. I don't know if they've done that again regularly. I mean, they could. But it is interesting to think that, you know, the rarity of things goes up and down, and ultimately that doesn't matter that much. I really want to run away from these idiots. Or could I mix myself some lightning immunity? What's lightning immunity? Phoenix down and eye drops? That's kind of expensive. I want to do that. Should I do that? Will Bart still be lightning immune? I'm thinking probably not. No. It hit exactly his max hit points. That actually probably is a function of how that thing works when I think about it. It probably takes off 25% of your hit points or something, right? Okay. This fight should be... Oh. Oh, that's some serious damage. Okay, I guess I don't need to heal. I don't know. There's something good about the red dragon, though. I don't Maybe it's nothing. Hit us with more lightning. Yeah, that's what we like. Okay, so that stops the singing when they hit the bard physically. We wanted this, I guess. I don't suppose these guys are vulnerable to Romeo's ballad, are they? We won! Ferris mastered Sing. That might be a mastered bard. I wasn't reading the last few messages because I was paying attention to the dragons. New Final Fantasy, for example, has old school counterspell in it, called something else as a different graphic, banned in the same places, or restricted. Yeah. What is the Final Fantasy counterspell? Final Fantasy doesn't have such a thing as counterspelling. It has reflect. Is it reflect? Named after an event? Has everyone mastered Bard? Oh, everyone's mastered Bard. Well then, forget it. Isn't that funny? Okay, what else do I have to do here? I wanted reflect rings from these guys. I don't remember the best place to get the reflect rings. Like, there's certain floors that are better for grinding. I also probably need to take some time to feed my children. So maybe I'll finish up for now. I'm just realizing the time. They're not super, It's not that I need them to be self-reliant. I mean, they're not that self-reliant. But if I don't tell them, hey, it's time to eat, they'll just forget about it. And later they'll be like, Dad starved us. Anyway. Okay, so I think I'm going to wrap up. It's a weird place to stop. I don't like this part of the game because I remember grinding here for reflect rings for so long. And I do think I might want a couple reflect rings. It's going to help a lot with Fork Tower, if nothing else, so I think I'll get 2. I'll have to plan for that. But this is going well. I'm enjoying my mixing so far. Going well. I'll be back to this in the not-too-distant future. Thank you for joining me. Had lots of people coming through today. It's been interesting. Maybe I should drop a raid. Who do we like? Who's playing Final Fantasy V right now? Nobody I know. I'm gonna look. It's funny that there's two Final Fantasy V's that appear on Trent and on Twitch, eh? Okay, let's drop a fairly arbitrary raid, and I'll get out of here. I haven't done this in a long time, so apologies if I mess up. I may. All right, we're going. Thanks for joining me.